Oh, there's my music. Hello. Let's get our dance party on. It's tradition. If you're watching us live, if you're watching the recording, I hope you're dancing with us right now too. Whoa, okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the party rolling here. I want music. Yeah. And we are underway. Hello and welcome. I got to wait until the beat drops. It's Trainer Mary Beth Rockwell coming to you live for the Next Fitness Thing. Welcome to the Next Fitness Show. Happy Friday to everybody who's checking us out live. Please be active in the chat. Hello, everybody checking out the recording as well. Jam-packed show. We always say that, but it's true. And today we bring in a special guest. You might have seen her before if you've watched all the episodes of the Next Fitness Show. Can we bring Ms. Natalie on screen, please? It's the lovely and talented, newly promoted TNFT Team Leader, Natalie Sparks. Woo! Natalie, welcome back.
Hello.
So happy to have you here with us. You've got a lot. You not only are you a TNFT Team Leader now, congratulations on getting the upgrade, but you are going to be bringing a whole bunch of really cool new material to this very YouTube channel, and we're very, very excited about this. So Natalie, can't wait. And you're able to hang for the whole show, you said?
Absolutely.
Your husband's birthday, he's understanding about it, you're sure?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He understands how important this is to me.
Thank you, Natalie's husband. What's his name?
Chris,
thank you very much for understanding. Alexis, of course, running the show behind the scenes here, and will definitely be contributing in our discussion as well.
Hello.
Alexis, give yourself a shout out.
Hi.
Our CEO, the executive producer, and wonderful human being. Okay, so we got some good news from Alexis coming up later on, by the way, too. Oh, stand by for that. So meanwhile, what else do we have on the show? We are going to dip into the TNFS mailbag. We've always got some good questions coming in there, but we're always looking for more. So if you have any, you can send yours to tnft@thenextfitnessthing.com. We'll be happy to answer yours. We'll have, of course, a movement opportunity for you, mid-show stretch break and move of the week. So you are absolutely welcome for audience participation on those. We have the updates on, of course, the coming attractions. Natalie, you're going to be a big part of that. We're very stoked. And of course, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do. Bear with me. It's part of the routine, but it's important. Please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, do so. I'm seeing the numbers starting to tick up a little bit now. So this is a good thing. So youtube.com/@thenextfitnessthing, of course, if you're checking this out in the ether somewhere. And thank you very much for joining us. Please like our videos, subscribe our videos, of course, share our videos. You're going to want to share some of the videos that we're going to be talking about later on. Just going to say that right now, okay? And what's going on in my chat? Let's see. Hello, Erin. Hi, and Stealthy Sharona is here. Hi, Stealthy Sharona. Glad you're here. And then we are hopefully going to talk about some food later on because, you know, we love to talk about food around here. All right, so without further ado, let's hand it off to the lovely and talented Natalie Sparks. Of course, Sparks of Joy Studio is where people find you on Instagram, right? Yes. And yeah, so how's it going at the Sparks of Joy Studio where you create wonderful things?
It's been going great. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I've had the opportunity to do some collaborations on YouTube, which has been really fun. And just this past Wednesday for Juneteenth, I ran a 50% off sale, which was very, very exciting. So, you know, things are definitely, I'm pleasantly surprised. So.
Very talented human being, very crafty, and I'm envious. So yeah, I love it. It's great to have you repurposing things and bringing in new life, and just fabulous. So you are here mainly not just to plug your YouTube, of course, so that's very important, but you are now one of our TNFT team leaders, and that is a big deal here at the Next Fitness Thing, because that means that you have stepped up from being a teammate taking our classes, and we love all our teammates, please don't get us wrong, but when you go the extra level and step up and make yourself available to lead walking classes, which is what the team leaders are doing among other things, I mean, that's cool. What made you decide to take the lead?
Honestly, it's funny. I had I guess I was having kind of like a, those ruts that you get into, and we talked about this when I was on the show last time. When you feel like you can't get yourself motivated. Like I was almost finding every excuse I could, or every excuse was like a reason not to get my workout in. And so I got to the point and I sent Alexis a message and I was like, listen, I'm just feeling like in a rut. And before we had the chance to actually like connect because we set up a kind of like a private like call session or whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, what can I do? I need to find a way to hold myself accountable. So this is kind of how I did it. I was like, well, if I have to run the class, then I know I have to be there. So that's kind of how it ended up that way.
That's a whole other level of accountability. That's amazing. So proud of you. You, of course, with your expertise in running your own YouTube channel, you're going to be bringing your skills to us. And we could not be more excited about this because here we are, the little TNFT that could, and each of us are wearing like 17 different hats. And you're stepping up to take some of this responsibility and run with it, literally, or walk with it, as the case may be. Natalie, tell us about the classes that you are going to be, just the surface level. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later as well. But yeah, just the basic, like, what is your new class experience all about? What's it called first?
Sure. So the class is called Walk with Us. And so what I'm really trying to do is replicate a lot of what I find to be my favorite classes in the Next Fitness thing on their platform. I really wanted to kind of allow more people to find an easier way to find it, right? To just randomly have it pop up one day and be like, oh, look at this is cool. And so that is kind of what I wanted to do is it's not going to be repeats always of what you would get exactly on the Next Fitness thing. So you have the option of like testing pieces of it out and then going and seeing like the real thing over on the website or the platform. So
Awesome.
that's the goal.
Yeah. And it's great. And you are going to be leading these walking classes, Walk with Us. And we'll dip in a little bit more later on, but there are going to be some Friday freebies involved as
Yes.
well, is the understanding. So I'm really, really happy to hear about that. And so now that you are holding yourself accountable, are you actually like showing up for yourself? That's the key. You make that commitment,
Yes.
right?
I did. And well, now I have a really cool new accountability buddy, which I know that we've now retermed to an accountability bunny. And so Lisa, who joins me in the morning, and if we when we didn't have an option for a class every day on weekdays, we were just kind of calling each other and talking to each other on our walks. Now we found
Aw,
a way to like allow more people to be involved in that.
yay.
And so yes, I've been there and I even got a chance to I even have been making myself get up earlier, like with the sunrise and go before the classes start. So that makes me really
Wow.
happy. That was the big goal.
Boom. There you go. Congratulations, Natalie. And yes, referring to Accountability Buddy, AKA now Accountability Bunny. For those of you who aren't already in the know, when we do our live walking classes here at the Next Fitness thing, people are typing in the group chat like, speaking of chat, Alexis's mom, Lana, is with us. Hello, Lana. Megan says hi as well. Megan, whoop, whoop. Hello. Carol also says hi. And Erin says, so awesome, Natalie. And Erin is dropping bunny emojis in the chat. So what happens is when we're typing in the chat, occasionally somebody will make a typo and it becomes a word and it becomes part of like our Walkstar vernacular, as I call it. So yeah, it's growing. So we've got accountability bunnies with us now. So Natalie, we're going to come back around and talk a little bit more about the Walk with Us situation.
Sure.
But since you're hanging with us, you're welcome to chime in here at any point that you like, because we're going to be moving on to some other things. But we have let's get a stretch opportunity, shall we? If you've been sedentary for a while, you need an opportunity to get a little stretch on, especially for those of you who are doing this for a lot of your day. That's typing. I'm so like right at the bottom of the border of my video right there. That's what I'm typing on. We have a yoga wrist stretch, and Alexis is going to bring up the video for us. And oh, Jenny says hi too. Hi. Oh, love this group coming on in here. Okay, so do not be intimidated by Veronica. She is extremely flexible. And if this position is not right for you, don't worry, we have some other options for you. But if your wrists get tight because you're like this all the time, quite possibly, you need to stretch your wrists. And Veronica is doing this. Here's her hands, and she's pointing them. I'm bendy too, so you don't need to imitate me either. But her fingertips are pointing toward her knees, basically. And then she's rocking nice and easily within her pain-free parameters forward and back on this one. So now, like I said, this might not be for everybody. If this is too intense on your wrist, and Alexis, of course, feel free to dip in here as well. I have been through a bajillion rounds of physical therapy for tendonitis in my hands and wrists because I type a lot. And Alexis, do you have anything to add on this one? I'm gonna do a little bit of a demonstration of my own if that last video was a little too intense for you, but
I think do your thing. I can.
Okay, all right. So I got to stand up to do this. Through the multiple rounds of hand therapy and wrist therapy I've been through, they preach what they call ducks and penguins. Okay, so I wasn't thinking I wore a black shirt, but you can see my red pants down here. So okay, so this is a duck. You stand with your hands at your sides, and your arms are long, and your posture is nice and tall, and you're flexing your hands, actually extending your hands and your wrists, so your hands are coming up toward your forearms. So then from there, you lift out for maybe about 45 degrees, hold it for anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, lower down. And then you repeat those maybe 10 times. And then here's the tricky one. Here's the penguin. So hands are at your sides, but you're going to rotate your palms outwards. So coming around like so, and then your wrists are flipped the other way. And then when you lift your arms out to the sides, you're going to get this whole part right here at just a little bit different angle. This can be intense, but it feels really good in my terms. So lift, same thing, 5 to 10 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, slowly lower, 10 reps or so. I lived on those when I was in physical therapy, by the way. So that's another option that I'm going to contribute. All right, Alexis, what's going on?
Nice. I love seeing all these actually. And I just love having the attention on the wrists. This wrist pain is one of the things that in leading exercise, you hear about this all the time. So if you're somebody who has wrist pain in the plank, you're not alone. It is very common.
Yeah.
And, so doing some wrist stretches like this are, very helpful. If you can't get down on hands and knees, you can even just like sit at your desk and turn your palms forward and stretch. I mean, getting really curious with your wrists and just finding your edges is very, very helpful. When I teach this move, when it comes up in yoga class right now, I even encourage people, I say, yes, play with this, turning toes back toward your knees. And you might also want to play with a different version, which would be palms facing up, and to go to hands and knees with your palms facing up. So the back of your hand would be on the ground.
That's exactly the way I like to do mine. Yeah.
I mean, you have to put less weight on your hands
right.
than you normally would. I did hear about some gymnastics coach who's extreme, making people do handstands in that position to help with gymnast wrists. I know. Natalie's face, that was like exactly the reaction to it.
I can't even.
And Natalie, we were actually talking before we started the show that you are in that similar boat, that you're typing a lot and you're in need of some TLC for your hands and wrists too, right?
Oh my gosh, all the time. Half the day, like I'll be like typing my report, and then I'm like stretching my arm out to the side. So that one you just showed was like, I was like, oh, that works really well. So yeah, like something I can do at my desk.
And yes, take your breaks when you're typing. That is the overarching moral of the story, because, if you need to set a timer to go off once an hour to say, hey, just give yourself a little, I just do this like at random when I'm typing during the day, and it helps just little by little. But yeah, take your breaks when you need them. And back to the chat for a moment. Kelly says, the accountability bunny was Kelly's creation in terms of the Rockstar vocabulary. Thank you, Kelly. We love accountability bunnies. Trainer Kathy is here and says, love these stretches. Yay, TNFT Trainer Kathy, our buddy. Okay, so was there anything else we had on the wrist stretches? I'm going to say one more thing. If you are experiencing wrist pain, we are not doctors. We cannot diagnose you. Get it checked out and get the proper diagnosis before you start experimenting a whole lot on your own. All right. You just want to keep it safe and gradually work your way back instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and end up making things worse. Deal? Okay. And let's see. Lana, rather, my mom says, love the penguin dance, and she wants music for it.
My mom.
Yeah. What did I say? We're gonna come up with music for the penguins and an actual dance. And okay, so we're gonna move on. That is your stretch of the week. So we got a move of the week coming up in a little while. However, and it's actually going to involve being on all fours. So this exercise that we did for your wrists might actually help you if you find discomfort when you're on all fours. But meanwhile, we are going to go to the TNFS mailbag coming up next. So the mailbag, of course, is always open. You can send yours in to TNFT at thenextfitnessthing.com, your questions, that is. And the question this week is, how do I train to do pull-ups? Notoriously hard exercise pull-ups are. So, and Natalie, are you a fan of pull-ups? Have you ever done pull-ups? I'm just curious on this one because I hate them. I try to do them, but
I'm like, maybe my husband can. I don't know.
Well, pull-ups are one of those goal exercises. Like my goal is to get strong enough to be able to perform a pull-up with your hands on a bar, pulling your chin above the bar, slowly lowering down and doing it properly and safely and all the things. So how do we do that, you ask? Well, my best piece of advice is you got to train your back more. I mean, because it's a very, very back-centric exercise. It's not just your arms. You got to engage your lats. Your shoulders are doing work on that one. So if you're not already, you should probably be doing some strengthening exercises for your shoulders, for your back. Your biceps will be in there, triceps assist as well. So your whole upper body, you should be working. Chest too. I mean, work it all. And Alexis, I know you've got some thoughts on this one. So I know you do.
This is like one of my moves. I'm super into this one. So, I mean, where do we start? The first thing, honestly, is you need to be able to hang off of the bar. If you can't hang off the bar, then you won't be able to do a pull-up. So training to hang off of the bar is the first thing to do, just with arms straight up, holding onto the bar and hang. Plus that builds grip strength, which is directly correlated to life expectancy. So train your grip strength. The next thing that I would do to help you to learn a pull-up would be to make sure that what Mary Beth is saying, to make sure that you have strength, train biceps, train lats, train core, and make sure that all of those things are present. Mm-hmm. And then what I typically tend to do after that is get an elastic band. They have specific elastic bands that are for the purpose of learning pull-ups. They're very long. It looks like the thing you put, like it reminds me of what you put in the vacuum as the belt. It looks like that kind of. But basically, you loop it over the bar in a specific way and you put it under your feet. And then you have this elastic band assisting you in the pull-ups. And you would basically use that elastic band. You use a really, really tight one first, and then you use an easier and an easier and an easier band and to work your way up to it. Now, people I've trained for pull-ups, honestly, just going straight from the band to the pull-up does not tend to happen. So there's still a couple more steps when you graduate from the elastic band. One is to be able to do the flexed arm hang. So flexed arm hang is instead of hanging off of the bar with your arms straight, you hang off of the bar, holding it to your chest with your palms facing back.
Yeah, Alexis, can you spotlight yourself while you're showing this? Because yeah, cool, thanks. So we get the big view because I'm trying to see what you're doing, and you're like this little teeny picture on my screen. There we go.
There we go. Oh my God.
That's better. That's better.
There you go.
There we go.
So flex arm hang, you put your palms facing back and you hold yourself to the bar right here. You hold yourself. You have to hold on. You can lift your knees to your chest if you need to make it a little easier. And practicing flexed arm hang is the next thing to do. A lot of people know flexed arm hang because if you did the presidential fitness exam when you were in elementary school, that is totally one of the things. If you couldn't do pull-up, you got to do flexed arm hang. So
fill it with fire. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So flexed arm hang. And then the next thing to learn is basically the negative. So you hold the flexed arm hang and you slowly lower down. Mm-hmm. And if once you can do the negative and you can hold it in any given position of the negative, going really, really slow. Last week we talked about time under tension. So watch that. And then you practice the shoulder shrug that initiates the pull-up. And then you'll be able to do a pull-up.
There's a lot to it. Yeah, it is definitely a process, and it's not easy. But right out of the gate, we can tell you it is not a piece of cake to do that. I'm going to offer one more suggestion.
Great.
If you happen to have access to a gym that has a lat pull-down machine, or it's a pull-up machine, but then it's assisted, so it will take off some of your body weight and will counterbalance on the machine, so you're lifting less of yourself, basically. So that's another good way to work your way into it.
You could use that instead of the elastic band, actually, too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's similar to, it's the same idea. So if you have a gym access with that machine, you could do that instead of skip the elastic band thing.
Okay, and
if this is something that we want, I could see, I'm curious. Oh, it's kind of make you be like, oh, should we have a pull-up? You would have to have a bar to practice on. So
we could do that, though.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I love this.
A pull-up challenge at the next fitness thing. Ooh, the wheels are spinning. Awesome. Okay. So that was, I hope that was a sufficient answer to the question. If you have any like add-on questions, follow-up questions, we'll take those too. Send those in. And remember, your questions don't even necessarily have to be about fitness. It's just the show is generally about fitness. So one more time with the address to send your questions, TNFT@thenextfitnessthing.com. Okay, moving on. Now we've done our stretch with your wrists. Now we're going to all fours. And I love this exercise. I'm doing a lot of these right now, rehabbing my cranky hip, and is called a fire hydrant. So we're making our way to all fours. If you're doing this with us, remember, you will need to hit both sides because our videos are likely just going to be on one side. But if you're doing it with us, get equal opportunity. Veronica is back. Now she has a resistance band looped just above her knees, and look at her beautiful head on the form on this one. The neck is neutral. Her spine is long and neutral. She's not bowing her head down. Her hips are not seesawing up and down either. That's the key to success on this exercise, which is meant to strengthen your outer hips and thighs, your gluteus medius, among other things. So you're in a tabletop position, stable as a table, I like to say. So you're not slouching in your belly. You're not, rounding. You're just beautifully, table with integrity, we'll call it. And then you will notice, and here's another one. This is me, and this is a side view. See, I've got my band around my ankles on this one. I could have put it around my thighs. I, for some reason, chose not to when I shot this video. But you'll see I'm not lifting my leg very high. It's much more effective if you keep your hips level and have a small range of motion with your thigh as you're lifting, than to be getting your thigh way up here, but then you're going like this, because you're totally taking the emphasis off this part right here where we want to hit it. Alexis, chime in, please.
Do that one more time so it can have you on spotlight.
This right here. That. The whole thing, or
no, just the part where you're showing how you keep your hips stable and not off to the side.
The attitude stretch. Okay, happy to oblige. Natalie, do you do fire hydrants? And if so, do you love them? Do you hate them?
I've done them in class before. They're definitely, I'm okay with those. I think the only thing that I will probably refuse is or not refuse, but not is push-ups. But no, those ones are easy. Any leg stuff I'm okay with.
All right, sweet. So, all right, duly noted. No push-ups for Natalie. That's not true. You're going to elevate them, or maybe do them on your knees. But otherwise, fire hydrant. Of course, the name comes from you are imitating your favorite male dog visiting the fire hydrant. So leg goes out to the side, but the dog will lift its hip, mind you, a little bit. The dog will quite lightly go. So you want to avoid that. Veronica has one more version of this. Now she has no band on right now. So in this case, you need to do kind of what we call creating your own resistance. So slowly controlling your time under tension. Once again, she's able to get her leg all the way up to her hip again, but she's still able to keep her hips pretty level on this one, right? So that's what we're talking about. Now, Alexis, if you want to chat about what she's doing with her upper body right now, this is pretty cool. It's a neat progression on this one.
Sure. And I should show this again. Okay.
Yeah.
This for the legs is easier than with the band that we showed before, because there's no band, right? But this is more balance is required here. She's using the Pilates magic circle and extending her right arm forward and pressing down into the circle as she does the fire hydrant. That's very challenging. It might not look very challenging, But it
And she
really
always
is.
makes everything look easy, right? But
Right.
yeah.
And I just want to say, like, if you can't lift your leg as high as Veronica can,
You're
neither
not
can
alone.
most people. I mean, just saying, she's a professional ballerina, so don't compare
Yeah.
yourself to anyone. That's just normal.
Yeah.
Other thing I'll
One
say
more
is,
note.
go
I was
ahead.
going to say one more note on that video. You'll notice it's her opposite arm from the leg that she's working.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, helping you balance a little bit easier. It's tough to do if you're, she's got her opposite arm and leg as her base, basically. So if she were to be all on one side, her table would quite likely want to tip over, and you don't want your table to tip over, right? So
And
yeah,
you can see
okay.
on this, she's pointing her toes, very ballerina-ish. This was from a
Right?
bar class.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean that's the only way to do this. In fact, if I was teaching this in a fitness environment rather than a bar environment, I would actually encourage you to flex your feet and curl your toes back. Active toes one way or the other is a good idea. So keeping your foot like floppy as you go through it is not recommended, but either point or flex is a good idea as you do that move.
More control that way. Yeah, too. All right. That is your fire hydrant. Please take advantage of it. Get some stronger outer hips and thighs and support your hip joints because they need it. All right. We all do. Okay, we're going to move on. It is announcement time. And Natalie, we're coming back to you. Hooray. And you are up first. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Walk With Us classes that are coming to our YouTube channel where we are right now. So now this is going to be, for now, it's twice a week, right?
Correct. On Mondays and on Fridays. So we start the week and we end the week together.
And these are going to be YouTube premieres. So they are going to pop up, and you can get the alert if you hit the notification bell, which I didn't mention earlier, but hit the notification bell if you want to get alerted to anything that comes up new. And at 6 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern time, right? This is when these pop up live on the YouTube.
One thing I will say, what you will notice is they are going to look like they're premiering at 5:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what that is a 5-minute buffer before the actual class starts. That way, when one of the things that some of our early birds noticed is they were getting the notification right at 6. So this gives you that 5-minute notification a little bit sooner. So you'll have like a 5-minute buffer with a countdown, and then the actual class starts at 6.
Good thinking. Good thinking. And then it's a fun walk. We're going to be playing some games. We've already got Never Have I Ever up there. We've got Would You Rather, and we've had some fun like trivia things too. And you're gonna have a lot of fun with those, right?
Yeah, it's been great so far, and I love it. And anybody who takes a class, whether you're taking the replay or the premiere, please provide your feedback, whether you want to do it in the chat, if you want to go on into the Facebook group that we have, or wherever. Just anything that you can do to give us some feedback. We want to make sure that this works for you too. So it's really meant to be something that will evolve as we find out what works best for everybody.
Awesome. And if you happen to be watching the Next Fitness Show and you are not yet a TNFT member or teammate, as we call our peeps, you can take this class. It's open to everybody, right? So anybody can check us out. Natalie, this is good. This is good. So more peeps, the better. Jenny is asking, will they be live in the app at the same time? They're strictly YouTube specific for now, right?
Correct. Right now, we have them just streaming on YouTube in the mornings during that premiere.
But then all you need to do is call up the YouTube app on your phone and open it up in zip, right? So, yeah, okay, sweet. Natalie, again, we're very, very excited that A, you're a team leader with us now, and B, you are bringing all these wonderful new things, and the Friday, Freebie Friday as well. So you're going to be having some cool stuff up for grabs, right?
Yeah, what we're going to do, we have a bunch of giveaways we want to do, but it's going to be a fun one. So it's going to be different ways. It's almost like a scavenger hunt within the videos. So, for example, this week or this morning, we ran a class. It was the Never Have I Ever class. And at some point within the video, there was a picture of Alexis stuffing her face with vegetables. So what I would love to see happen is we're gonna find a way, and you guys will find out more about this coming up, but you're going to need to figure out at when that shows up, and then you're going to submit that response along with your information in order to enter the giveaway. So we will have more information about it, but that's an example of what it would look like.
Awesome. All right. I cannot be more excited about this. And yeah, let us know what you think about it if you take these classes. Natalie's dying to know. Okay. And so are we. All right. Next up, we are going to remind you about Casey, newly minted trainer Casey, who has been a team leader and now has her trainer for certification. So she is officially a full-fledged TNFT trainer. Casey is leading our live Vinyasa Flow 60 class. It is every Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. for the East Coast crew. A whole hour of Casey's awesomeness. And Alexis, since you are a representative yogi around here, you're of course welcome to chime in here. But Casey's a rock star yoga instructor, and we're very happy to have her taking care of this for us. And go
ahead. I just want to say I'm so impressed with how much that Casey has put into these classes.
Yeah.
She has, a theme. The whole thing is so well put together, and she's made it so accessible. And if you've taken Vinyasa before and you thought, oh, geez, that was kind of a little too much, she really has made it so that it is at an appropriate level for everybody to take wherever you are with yoga. So I really encourage you to check it out. It is in our replay library also.
Yeah, for sure. Those are all going to be recorded up in the replay library. Bring your props, any props to help you get into the rhythm and the flow and the comfortable range of motion for your yoga straps, yoga blocks, whatever you got there, cushion if you need it, and show up. It's Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And also we are very happy to be expanding our weekend live class schedule as well. So thank you very much, Casey, for that, because I was carrying it all by myself on Saturday. So now I have some company. All right. Next, let us move on to the book club. The TNFT Book Club is going to be happening. It is coming up on Sunday, June 30th. At 1 p.m. Pacific time. Team leader Anna is going to be leading the way on this one. You still have time to pick up this month's book club selection, which is The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Alexis should say it's a real enthralling but quick read. So you can still breeze through that and join the discussion. It is going to be a walk at whatever pace feels right to you. It's a walking book club, basically. So you show up, you discuss the book. Anna's prepped and ready with all kinds of good discussion points for you. So that is going to be once a month. Casey's going to alternate with Anna, and Casey will have the July edition, and then Anna, and et cetera, et cetera. You can get all of the information and all of the summer book selections rather, and they're working on some for beyond summer as well. So you want to go to thenextfitnessthing.com/book club, and all of that information is there for you. Okay. And then Alexis, we're handing it over to you because you are bringing us something very, very cool to the Next Fitness Thing. And this is your baby. So you take it. The moon circle.
Nice. Thank you. I'm so excited to bring this to it's called Manifesting with the Moon. This is the first time that I have had my own program as part of the Next Fitness Thing. So I am really, really excited to do this program. It is, it's this coming week is a kind of like free sample version. So today, while we're teaching this class, this is the full moon. So right now, this is the full moon, and it's also the summer solstice on the same day, which is not something that happens very often. And it is known as the strawberry moon. It's known as the honeymoon. And this full moon is this time where there is just so much energy. I mean, the full moon is also typically the time when women are ovulating. So it is a time of a lot of fertility. Plus, the summer solstice is the time when there is the most light of the sun that there possibly could be. So it's the most light of the moon and the most light of the sun at the same time right now. That means that this is this time where there is a huge opportunity for creation and for bringing your dreams into reality and using the moon as a tool, because the moon is on a 28-day cycle and it keeps waxing and waning. So every month it waxes and wanes, and that's this opportunity to use the moon as a way to set your intentions. Like, what are you releasing as the moon is waning, and what are you bringing into your life as the moon is waxing? And it's also just a chance for us to get together in Zoom for a couple hours at a time and get to share and talk about what kind of things we might be challenges or obstacles. There's guided meditation. It's going to be a really special program. So if you would like to join, then you can go to joinfree.mooncircle.com. And the moon is spelled with 3 O's. So it's joinfree.mooncircle.com with 3 O's in the moon.
Awesome. And we will put that address in the show notes as well. So in case you missed it, we got you covered there. And Alexis, this sounds incredible. This is like nothing we've ever had before. So it's almost like you're generating fertility of just of thoughts and energy, and
Right.
it's all growing together, and that's
Right. It's
really
like
beautiful.
You can give birth to anything. It doesn't have to be a baby, right? We're giving birth to the next fitness thing right now, really.
Hello.
Totally.
For those of us who are like past the childbirth years, this is like, yeah, you can give birth to whatever you want to put out in the world too. So check it out. So
and
yeah,
I mean,
very cool.
Honestly, there's like this way for me too, that it's like bringing movement into my life has been such an opportunity for me to connect more deeply in mind, body, and spirit, right? And we talk about the mind and we talk about the body, and we don't really talk about the spirit that much. So this is kind of this opportunity where it's not tied to any particular religion or anything like that, but it's this opportunity for us to be able to connect on a spiritual level in a way where everybody's welcome.
Beautiful. Oh, cannot wait for this to blossom and come forth into the world. So thank you for bringing it to us, Alexis. Yay. All right. That is, I think we're going to wrap it for this edition, episode 24 of the Next Fitness Show. 25 next week, a quarter of the way to 100. Yay. All right. So before we part ways, again, I want to thank Natalie for joining us. Thank you again for your team leadership, and give your place where people can find you one more time before we part ways. Get yourself a plug.
Sparks of Joy Studio. You can find me on YouTube or Instagram.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much, Natalie. We look forward to all the things you're going to be bringing to this YouTube channel very, very much. And then, of course, I got to remind you one more time, like our videos, subscribe to the channel, share our videos. That helps get the word out and helps us grow. And hit the notification bell again, especially if you want the notification for the Walk With Us classes. That'll go 5 minutes before the class starts. You can do that so you never miss anything. And I think we're going to boogie on out of here, yeah? So the music will start and I will do something that resembles dancing, and you're absolutely welcome to join me. Thank you to everybody who joined us live. Appreciate your company. And everybody checking out the recording as well. You're welcome to join us live whenever you can, but glad you're checking us out however you can make it. All right. I think we get a high five before we actually play the music. Let me get my ish together. There we go. All right. So, and we're dancing it out. There we go.